Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Tuesday and it's right after the weekend. We're back in action. How was your Labor Day if you guys are celebrating in the United States? Did you guys enjoy your 3-day weekend? For many of you, it also marks a return to school for your kiddos, and that might be a fun day or, yes, a bittersweet one as well. Some of your kiddos will be heading back to a traditional classroom, while others will be starting or continuing their virtual school. This is also what we'll embark on come this Friday. To those whose kiddos are back, congratulations on your first day or your first 3 or 4 weeks. During the weekend, we also managed to create some mashups, just the basic ones, of course. There aren't many uploads made over weekends, and it's a fact that everybody needs a breather anyway, and live streaming makes things a whole lot easier. Yesterday, I uploaded a personal experience of mine. It was really exhausting, but it was also an amazing feeling to share it with everyone. Of course, we'll also explore the wild world of the Duggars and other Fundy families, because I know how much you guys love the drama. The Duggars, sister wives, the Rodriguezes, the Bates, name it. At present, Counting On seasons are being aired on the TLC network, with a new episode tonight and another next week. The preview indicates a possible announcement of Duggar families courting, and all are speculating it may be between Lauren and James Kendall, Kendra's younger, my sister, and James Duggar, who I think is 19 or 20. Anna Duggar has been a little too short-tempered on Instagram lately. Remember that thing with the sweater party a couple of weeks ago, with those hideous sweaters and that pageant? And Anna made a comment about how she was appreciative of being asked to be on, which, if she doesn't want to be there in that kind of environment, surprised me, to be honest. But she also made a veiled comment about why she only comes on the show so much. Basically, that her husband has that sort of reputation. We spoke last week about Anna and Josh's flipping of a home that isn't even complete yet. Of course, this sparked interest in why any homeowner would consider selling an unfinished house. Some even wondered if Josh has simply inherited this home from Jim Bob Duggar as a ploy to avoid paying taxes. Others speculate that Josh could be trying to sell this home because he has a lawsuit pending to go to trial and an investigation with the Department of Homeland Security pending against him. So, with all that's been happening, Anna has been a bit more on edge lately. Maybe a manifestation of all that's been happening around the house, says Mary. Anna is certainly exhibiting some irritability towards her in-laws, and as we saw last week, she adds, but then trails off as if she's unsure if, "You're just so kind to include me, even in the tiniest little itty-bitty ways," she says. However, then just yesterday, Anna went ahead and threw actual shade at Michelle Duggar. And yes, this isn't one of those things where people are like, oh, that's copyright infringement. No, seriously, this is actual shading the mom-in-law. She posted a recent picture of all of her children together, and one of her daughters had a younger sibling with her in the photo. A comment came in asking if they were budding, and saying that Mackenzie clearly made a great big sister. The buddy system, of course, the Duggar family tradition that Michelle Duggar has always maintained, but not at the Duggar household. We do not have a buddy system. I'm the mom, and as much as possible, I want our children to be free to enjoy their childhood. Whoa. Yikes. Do you remember when I told you about Alice, the woman whose claim was that Michelle hadn't cleaned the house or cooked in years, relying instead on her oldest daughters to raise her kids? Well, that's a truthful statement. This appears to be Anna's veiled jab at her mother-in-law for not allowing her children to be children. And to be frank, this is possibly a contributing factor for the issues with supervising Josh, their son. Evidently, in this family, the ability for children to be children was not exactly a concern. Supervise their own selves, which, as we all know, is never a good decision to make. Children will remain children. They require aid. Well, let's look at the buddy system, and this is how it was explained by Michelle when she appeared on TLC. We figured out that it was better if one of the kids would assist the other ones with some simple things like putting the seatbelts on. One thing she actually observed during the program was the development of a very sweet friendship between the kids brought together by the system. Basically, the buddy system Michelle initiated was started when Josh was 8 years old. Jonna, Jill, Jessa, and Ginger, the 4 eldest girls, had buddies, but the children changed depending on the number participating. As for the boys, there may not have been much participation since the 4 girls seemed to have been responsible for most babysitting. Michelle nursed the baby until he or she was 6 months old before passing the baby off to the buddy. Well, here's another interesting thing about this family. Jonna essentially raised Josie. There's a long-standing rumor that Jonna chose to spend so much time at the house as a way of being close to Josie. Although Michelle had a child of her own in Josie, her sons chose a playmate to befriend the child. Naturally, this person was Jackson. And then she said, well, it is our turn to get another buddy. Look, he's got a dimple eyes like me. That means she's on our side. She told me she would make sure to get me whatever Josie needs if she needs something by simply letting them know what she needs. So, Jonna was pretty much in control. She had a team to supervise, which included Josie, whom she was tight with, so pretty much her mom, which is a weird situation to consider considering she is one of the youngest siblings in her family, with no more kids from Michelle. Many have observed that when family pictures include their children, it is not rare that those who get photographed look like they are not at ease among their parents. This may be due to not having too much interaction time with their parents. It is thought that Jonna might stay in the house simply because their parents, though loving their offspring, don't connect much, and it is Jonna who sees to things. Nothing would ever get accomplished around our house if Jonna weren't there to help, admitted Michelle to US Weekly earlier this summer, exemplifying that Jonna is truly the pro when it comes to everything that involves projects, school during quarantine, and everything else. It is rather evident that the role of the mother here is played by Jonna, and Michelle kind of depends upon her for the same. Michelle also revealed more about the fact that they divided the
teams into 4 groups, and every group had a color and a job, like different parts of the house and different tasks. For instance, Jill's team had tasks assigned to them that had to be done. Jonna's team had their chores to do, Jessa's team had their chores to do, and Ginger's team had their chores to do. When Jill and Derek said their goodbyes to the family and headed off to fulfill the job of missionaries in Central America, 2 sisters appeared to be very affected by the goodbye, Jenny and then Joyanna, although the entire family may be included when referencing the Duggar sisters. Joyanna has also stated in interviews how Jill was essentially her mother because she raised her. For example, Jill's 29 years old, so Joyanna is 22, so they're 7 years apart. That means that in their family, a 7-year-old was basically given a baby to babysit. That's a lot for a kid to handle, right? Right in line with Anna Duggar's point. There was also this one incident, which was when Jackson got lost in the airport. Jackson was Jonna's friend, and he asked Michelle if Josie could join them, and he would take the mom role. So apparently Jackson got lost, and they started frantically searching for a lost kid over the airport loudspeakers, a little boy named Jackson. And yes, it was actually their son. However, their parents did not seem like they were worried about this fact. When Jackson was found, he ran not to mom and dad, but to Jonna for comfort. And of course, Jim Bob and Michelle made fun of this on camera. So here's the thing, Jonna is still living at home, unmarried with no children, and it appears that she has some sort of sense of responsibility towards her brothers and sisters. Of course, remember that Josie is a micro-preemie and has had all kinds of health problems, including febrile seizures. However, Michelle does not appear to be all that concerned about her children. She does not cook or clean. To be honest, it's difficult to determine what her role in the family in fact is. Perhaps she was a lot more involved when the kids were younger and fewer, but I think as the family has grown, she's been the one to distance herself from being a mom to the kids. It's a sad thing to think about, but look at this. It's been Jessa who has been the one to take Jordan to have her teeth cleaned, while Jordan screamed for mom, and she's been right there taking care of it. It's just really sad to think about the fact that those kids never have any kind of genuine relationship with mom, that instead they are holding on to the siblings because they are the only ones taking care of them. This might explain too why Anna Duggar left the show Counting On, since Sister Jill is the one who raised her. It's her sister Jill that actually left the cult, and maybe Joyanna is listening to her? Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. But let me tell you, I am loving this subtle burn from Anna. I don't know that I love that she's married to Josh, but Anna is definitely Anna and can do what she wants. But whoever is willing to stand up for Michelle like this because of how she raised all of her kids, count me in. No kid needs to raise other kids. When a girl turns 7, she's no longer accountable enough to make parenting decisions. That's ridiculous. Nonetheless, when Anna says no buddy system, that's essentially her way of telling me, Michelle, you're a lousy parent. At least, that's the impression that I'm attempting to glean. Side note though, Anna has been acting a bit more like herself, playfully speaking. Someone commented that they wondered if Anna was pregnant again due to the rumor that her belly looked full. Honestly, even that didn't really convince me. That just looked like baby weight she hadn't lost yet, so there could easily be enough baby left that she could still be breastfeeding. Anna has confirmed that indeed she isn't pregnant and has just eaten too many cinnamon rolls though. And really, cinnamon rolls are delicious. Enjoy, Anna. Then, what are your thoughts about Anna's roast of the buddy system that Michelle follows? Are you living your best life like everyone else? Do you think Anna is getting so frustrated with her husband's family because of their close living quarters on the Duggar compound? Or is the fact that Josh's father has such a strong grip on the family, particularly because of Josh's scandal and the pending investigation, ratcheting up the tension for her? Honestly, I have never seen Anna like that before, and I kinda like seeing her this way. I'd also love to hear your comments, which should go below. See you later, guys.